Um, 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 uh, well, listeners, all subscribers of Universe Immersion, welcome to Universe Immersion. That incredible sound you're hearing is the sound of me eating cheese and crackers. Oh, you're welcome. Right now I'm in the Universe Immersion mobile. As I've previously mentioned in a post, I'm eating cheese and crackers. So today, I'll tell you what I've got on my mind today. I can also tell you what I've got in my mouth. It's coconut water. Terrible stuff. Okay, well, broadcasting live from the Universe Immersion Reveal. This is Gregg Everman. Welcome, listeners, to Universe Immersion. Today's episode is, well, I was thinking about making it about it being, the installment in my new science fiction drama I'm working on called All Our Eternities, which is about a cybernetic machine which destroys all existence and then rebuilds it slowly over the course of a very, 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 very long time. But today I've got another idea. Give me a second. Okay. Today, instead, we're going to continue the series, Lady Lunafreya. The episode, Lady Lunafreya. Today I'm going to expound upon it a little bit, because I feel that my speechwriter didn't do a very good job laying it all out for you. So today I'm here to clean up a few details. Lucky you. You get to not only listen to that, but listen to me eat and drink at the same time. Enjoy yourselves. Now, some of the finer details I thought could be touched up upon are just kind of seeing it from the Final Fantasy 15 campaign perspective. So when Noct begins the campaign, his car breaks down, he goes sees Cindy, who we've talked about. Okay, so after that he goes to Golden Key, where he gets word that his father and the rest of Insomnia has perished. He goes to Insomnia to find out. Now, while he's on the way to Insomnia, he drives past Lady Lunafreya's car, and she tries to flag him down, but that doesn't work. So in the meantime, he continues on, and he finds out that the city has indeed been destroyed. Now, during this time, Lady Lunafreya is going through her troubles with not really wanting to. Car coming, watch out. Be quiet, listeners. Oh, man. I thought I was safe out here in the boonies, but it seems that everywhere I go, the spies, the enemies of Universe Immersion, and the free peoples of the world lurk everywhere. In the trees, in the grass, in the dents of the forest. All around me are spies and intruders, those who seek to overthrow Universe Immersion. Yeah, you better believe it. But in the meantime, this is blah blah, that's what's happening to Lady Lunafreya at the time. Meantime, she's not, she doesn't eat a lot of food or anything along the way, right? Unlike me. Basically Lady Lunafreya is, she's trying to, basically you're just jumping from car to car, right? You stop at a bus stop, the gamer, who's controlling Lady Lunafreya, she gets out of the car, or the gamer gets out of the car, And then, you proceed on, you weasel your way around Niflheim security forces. You're always, I imagine, even because Lady Lunafreya has some magic in her. Not a lot, nothing substantial, but I don't think she's able to cloak or anything, or like do anything like that. But one thing she is able to do is, because she has the power of healing and soothing troubled people and all that, I think she's almost like she can almost, you might say, turn on the appeal. And I'm not talking about the sexual appeal, which no one wants to hear about. No, I'm just talking about like regular appeal. Like, I think people are just very drawn to her. Plus she's a nice person, right? Lady Lunafreya is a really nice person, which I think is very interesting, actually. You don't see that a lot anymore. Very nice people. They don't seem to be very popular. But anyways, so she can almost turn on this appeal, and it almost kind of gets her through a lot of people. I think at one point she is even stopped by this Niflheim lieutenant guy, this kind of scraggly looking fellow with a beard and mustache and all that stuff. And, he's gonna take her in, right? He's gonna he's pretty sure that if she's not Lady Lunafreya, she's someone special, because I guess she's, at the time, now she is in disguise. This is just very, very shortly after the fall of Insomnia, like 10 hours. It's probably about like in the evening, right? It's in the evening after the fall of Insomnia. So she's probably in disguise. And in disguise. Omega joke, which means like big joke right there. Universe immersion exclusive. But yeah, so she's in disguise, right? But still very recognizable. They've got her poster, they've got a million photos of her. She hasn't been able to put on a very thorough disguise yet or anything, so she's, she probably just looks like she's trying to wear a disguise and blend in. Plus, she's used to fancy clothes. Most of the people in disguise, they just wear basic clothes. So she probably doesn't, you might say, wear it very well, like it feels uncomfortable and, shifting awkwardly and all that stuff. So long and short of it is, somebody finds her. This lieutenant guy finds her. So he's going to turn her in, but she has a bit of a chat with him. I don't think he has her in a booth or anything. Wowzers, more spies. That sound you heard was the sound of 1,000 gunshots being fired at the universe immersion reveal. Still safe and sound. You can't slow down the universe immersion reveal. It goes and flows, and universe immersion grows. So yeah, so during this time, yeah, so the lieutenant stops her and brings her into his office and all that. I guess he's just asking her a few detailed questions. And I think she's able to talk to him, right? Maybe she just admits openly to him that she's Lady Lunafreya and kind of pleads with him a little bit. Maybe even like pathetic appealing, if that's what you want to call it. Although honestly, it's pretty brave in her case, I suppose. But so she appeals to him, and he says, all right, well, I've never really been behind the whole Niflheim war effort anyway, so I guess you're off the hook. So he lets her go. Right? I guess he doesn't report or anything. He just lets her walk right back into a car. She just bums a ride off somebody. There are thousands of refugees fleeing. Half of them don't have cars. Half of them are on foot. They're being stopped at every Niflheim checkpoint search. All their weapons are being taken away. Anyone who's harboring a Kingsglaive or a Crownsguard, or anyone who's a soldier of Insomnia is maybe being executed. You never know. I mean, it's a pretty hairy time, right? These Nifs, they don't take it easy. And there are a lot of people fleeing. Millions taking every road out of Insomnia, because the city's being bombarded by the Diamond Weapon. Now, the Diamond Weapon was killed by one of the kings of old with the aid of Nyx Ulrich. But, no one knows that, right? Everyone thinks the diamond weapon is probably still raising the city. This is only 20 hours later. There's been no newspapers given to these people, no reports, nothing. They're all looking for loved ones and all that stuff. It's a very harrowing accusation, but so she gets out. Lunafreya gets past this guy. She gets stopped at probably another 5 checkpoints before 2 days have passed. She at one point, as I mentioned in the first video on episode Lunafreya, she actually slips out of the vehicle she's in, right into the I think like the back seat of another car. The guy who she slips into his vehicle, he's probably got like 3 or 4 people in there already. Probably 2 of them are refugees and 1 is maybe a relative or a friend or something like that. But so she slips in there, and they see it. Of course they see it, and they can, it's not hard to guess what it is. But now this guy's not even an Insomnian. He could just as easily let her get turned in. But, he just kind of, he sees her and he's going, nah. Plus he's kind of, it's kind of nice when a pretty lady, she was a pretty lady. It's kind of nice when a pretty lady shows up in your car and, just sits there in the back of the car. You know what I'm saying. So then that's that. So she drives in this car. They stop at night time at a trailer. We all know those super cool trailers. I'm telling you, there's nothing cooler than Final Fantasy 15 gameplay where you just sleep in a trailer all night. You're just a camper. So cool. So she sleeps in a camper with probably another 20, 30 people. People everywhere. Thousands of screaming people. Although they're not screaming. But either way, so she sleeps in a trailer. I don't think she gets that good of a sleep for a lot of reasons. One, because she's exhausted, right? She's been up for the last 3 days. She's probably got so dark circles under her eyes you can barely even recognize her. She was awake when she was taken out of the throne party there by General Glauca in the movie Kingsglaive. And then she was taken to the ship. I doubt if she got any sleep there. The Fortress airship, Magitech Fortress airship. So she was taken there. Probably didn't get any sleep. Then all that day, the Magitech, the Fortress airship is flying around and trying to bombard Insomnia. Well, at least the latter half of the day. Nyx got her out of there. All night passed with them fleeing the city. By morning, she was finally out of the city, but then she had to run because you can't stay in Insomnia. Insomnia, that's British for insomnia. It's the British word for insomnia. The British have a very different language from the Canadians. They speak like in hieroglyphics and binary, whereas us Canadians, we speak in kind of like just kind of like, hey, get her down, that type of thing, you all know what I'm saying. Like, we just gotta let the language roll, we don't really try to get anything really higher meaning. We don't really try to get anything more profound in there. We just, kind of, say whatever comes to our head, like. You likes? So yeah, I said something about insomnia. Lost my train of thought there. Oh yeah. Man, I can't even remember what I'm saying. So oh yeah, but either way, so she gets out of insomnia. Blah 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 blah. Not what I meant to say. We're smarter than this. By the way, so viewers, if you remember where I was at, you can text me at 117 Master Chief Collection, Master Chief again, and then dial Master Chief after that to reach me because he's cool. Everyone wants to be the Master Chief. Anywho, so Insomnia is burning and blah 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 blah. So Lunafreya, like I said, now she's tired, but she can just barely sleep. The thoughts passing through her head are just crazy. All day long, every time she has 2 seconds to think, her brain refocuses on what this means. She was given the ring, so she now has the Ring of the Lucia. King Regis gave it to her, then Nyx took it from her, and then gave it back to her. And now she has it. She has to give it to Prince Noctis. Now, that would seem to be the first order of business, but a new thought is playing through her head. She's thinking, well, like, with Insomnia dead, Niflheim is won. The world is theirs. But the world can't be theirs. Now, and the crystal is theirs too. That's trouble. But the crystal and the world can't be theirs. They're the bad guys. They're scumbags. So she's thinking, well, just give me a second. I gotta drive the universe immersion mobile forward here to keep that ninja who's sitting on the balcony from watching. He's up to something. So she's starting to think maybe the prophecy about Noctis was correct. He is the chosen king. And instead of just giving the ring to him, maybe I've got to give it to him when he's proven himself worthy to bear it. How can he prove himself worthy to bear it? Astrals. Whew. The Astrals. Titan, Leviathan, Ramu, Shiva, Ifrit, and Bakhmut. I don't even want to say his name. It sounds like the name of some devil. So does Shiva, actually. But that dude, the big fat guy with all the armor and swords, and he looks like he's straight out of Final Fantasy 1. So she doesn't want to something. Oh yeah. But she realizes that the Astrals are probably the way that Noctis can prove himself worthy. He needs the Astrals' power. Their power, like he can, not only can he take some of it for himself, but he can also summon them. Actually, I'm not sure if he can take any of it for himself. I imagine he can. But he can summon them, and they're very, very powerful. He needs them, right? He's never going to finish this quest now without them. Now that Niflheim owns the entire world, the crystal is in Niflheim, or at least they're taking it back to Niflheim. There's no way anyone can stop them now. So she's thinking, well, I wonder if instead of taking the ring to Noctis and finding where he is, which might take forever, maybe instead I should be gaining the astral support. Plus, she knows Noctis. She knows that she loves him and all that. And she thinks he's going to be great, but she knows right now that he's not that great. He's kind of a loser. Just kind of some guy who plays King's Knight all day. Or, as I like to call it, Kingsglaive all day. Boing, 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 boing. So she's not really sure about that. And she's thinking, well, alright, well, if maybe I could summon the Astrals and, get him his power, and then he can see. We can see if he's worthy of it or not. But that's a hard thought, because she knows what the Astrals are like. They're kind of a nasty crowd. But he will need them eventually if he's going to overthrow Niflheim, which it's really starting to seem that he himself is going to have to do. It might be the only way to beat them, to not only collect the King's swords, which are in parts unknown, but to also summon the Astrals, which is the more important one, and get them to help him fight this war against Niflheim. With the 6 Astrals, he would have all the help he needs, right? He can now overthrow Imperial bases. He can wreck roadblocks. He can do anything, really, with the help of the 6 Astrals. Whereas by himself, even with the King's swords, he's still nothing. The Kings of old will help him, I suppose, but he's still nothing compared to the might of the Niflheim Empire. They got MTs coming out of their ears. And them's dudes can fight. You got guns, too. No one else has guns. Well, a few people have guns. Excuse me while I eat something. Yum, yum. It's good stuff. Quackers and cheese it is, in case you're wondering. Might want to pull out some crackers and cheese yourself. To enjoy the universe immersion experience to its fullest. Add some coconut water while you're at it. Where was our listeners? I was at, oh yeah. So, she's starting to have those rough thoughts. Either way, so, later on, as told in the previous story, she gets a visit from her mom. Mother will go with because mom sounds informal. So she gets a visit from her mother. Her mother tells her that she needs to summon the astrals, just as she had suspected. So that's a pretty lousy thought. Now she knows she can't take the ring to Noctis, not until the astrals are on his side. At least as many of them as she can get. 4 or 5 would be nice. But she knows that not only will this probably cost her life, because the Astros don't mind killing the Oracle. I mean, look at Hydra, and she thinks of the, Leviathan. She thinks of the Oracle as just this worm who's just so small and mouthy and ridiculous that she doesn't even deserve a fair shake. And that her word, even though she's the Oracle, the only one who can talk to the Astrals, she's still so stupid that she doesn't even deserve your attention. That's what the Astrals think. At least some of them do. Bahamut, we'll call him, because obvious reasons, before stated reasons. Give me 1 second. Did you hear that? That might be a nice day today, but those spies sure aren't nice. You know, they drive by and they just look at you. They look at you. You know, everyone's really out to get you, you know. You see a lot of people in life and you say, oh, that guy's a nice guy, you know what I mean? He seems pretty nice, you know. Wrong. He's not nice. He's just playing yous. He's playing yous. You know, I mean, that guy seems kind of like a half-decent dude, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know, I mean, he doesn't really seem too bad. Stop lying to yourself. They're all spies. Hang on while I unwrap my napkins here. My complimentary napkins. Which were given to me compliments of the universe immersion experience. I should probably cut off the commercials here, but I won't. This today is brought to you commercial free by Universe Immersion. Whoa! Look at that, was nice of them. Commercial free provided you don't mind listening to me. The sound of me eating crackers and cheese. Well, now that we've got that crackers immersion over with. Okay, so her mom shows up and tells her the details. Now, as mentioned in the last episode, or in the part 1 of the episode Lunafreya, 2-part series. Sorry about that, listeners. It's some sort of chemical bomb those spies are using. Gets in the throat. So, as mentioned in the previous episode of episode Lunafreya, Tongue twister. So she does a few things. Yeah, and so that's the end. So Lady Lunafreya, so she gets a message from her mom. That day she's feeling pretty glum. So that day she shows up at a crow's nest. Now it's raining the next day, so the Niflheim barricades are a little bit easier to skirt by. In the meantime, this gives her a bit more time to think. Plus, she's already been loose for 2 days now, I think. Yeah, I think 2 days. She's already been... Well, this is the second day, anyway. Third? Either way, she's been loose for a little while. And they can't seem to find her. She's getting farther and farther and farther away from Insomnia. And, Deputy High Commander Artifast Van Thiel is searching everywhere for her. He's scouring the entire land. He's committed all soldier forces to this because they want that ring. Especially after Emperor Idealist Aldercopt realizes that the ring controls the crystal. Now, he kind of knew that, but I guess he was in denial. Thinking that maybe the crystal would just serve the most powerful emperor, but it didn't. Newsflash, it doesn't. So, meantime, he does have, he doesn't know that quite yet, but he finds out very soon. But in the meantime, Artifast Van Thiel is scouring the area for Lunafreya and Prince Noctis. So in the meantime, but because it's a rainy day and, they're really soggy and coming down out there, and she's getting farther and farther away, the checkpoints are getting fewer and fewer. So, wow, my thermometer says 45 degrees centigrade. That's on the hood of the Universe Immersion Mobile, listeners, but stuff we have to go through. Luckily, I'm in an air-conditioned environment. Yeah, I'm broadcasting live on site. I'm actually sitting on top of the hood to do this, and it's part of the job, right? Yeah, it's 45 degrees Celsius. That's just what we do here at Universe Immersion, Guts to be tough to work here, Yeah. Anywho, so meantime, yeah, like I said, so she sits at the restaurant. She's having a really tough time mentally. She goes through this whole ordeal where she tries to give the ring away for a plate of food. Well, it's not even so much about the plate of food. She doesn't really want the plate of food. She's not hungry. She doesn't really care to eat. Her stomach is too sick to be hungry. But she tries to give the ring away. Kind of through just cowardice, And, you almost can't blame her. She knows what the price is if she keeps that ring and has to end up giving it to Noctis Lucius Achilum. So she's trying to give it away. And, so she does. She gives the ring to the, cashier? Clerk? The clerk. The store. I don't even know if clerk's the right thing. Why can't I think of the right name now? Spies inbound. Watch it. I've just got to put the thing down. Just give me a second. Yeah, just 2 seconds. Hey, buddy. Hey, spies. And, so, where was I? Something about spies. So, like I said, she's still in a bad place. She, gives the ring away. The guy's just about to put in his cash register. He's taking a look at it, and he's telling her, whoa, this thing's going to be worth a fortune. He doesn't realize it's the ring of Lucia, but she knows that, of course. Her buddy Damian or whatever his name is. I can't remember right now. I invented it. My producer invented it. But because he's such a flippin' moron, he doesn't ever tell me how it's said. Okay, so Damian, he tries to reason with her. A couple of people try to reason with her. Even one of Damien's buddies at the crow's nest there tries to reason with her and saying, like, whoa, lady, this ring's got to be worth, the meal is worth, I don't know, maybe 150 gil. That ring has got to be worth, 5,000 gil. The thing is just ridiculously expensive looking. The carvings are incredible. It looks like solid gold and all that. And like the store clerk, he's looking at it with like a looking glass and all. He's going like, man, this thing's worth a fortune. By the way, so she pleads with him to take it. So he goes, oh, okay. Well, I mean, I guess a fish and chips meal is worth that much to a little girl. Little tiny wee girl. Oh yeah, and, my screen's gone blank on my iPad. My iPad. Who's going on? Okay, well, so, by the way, she gets the big conscience attack where conscience telling her, Luna, what are you doing? And she goes out. So she just kind of cries out no and just grabs the ring out of his hand just before he puts it in the cash register and just takes it away and stares out the window. She's just kind of holding everything in as she just stares out the window about, 10 feet away from them. And they're all just kind of looking at her back thinking like, what is up with her? What is her problem? First she gives away this priceless thing, and then she's obviously regretting giving it away. I mean, they don't have no idea what's going on with her. They're thinking like, what's up with this? Like, what's going on? But either way, eventually the clerk, who's a good guy, comes over and gives her the meal. Anyway, without payment, he says, well, just take it, don't be all up in arms, and the other way. So then she talks to Damien and the clerk, about, what would they do if the only person they really ever thought about was condemned to death by your own actions. And they're going like, what? What is that supposed to mean? But otherwise, so, she doesn't tell them because, it's confidential, need-to-know basis stuff. And, I just need one more snack cracker thing before the end of the episode. Ladies and gentlemen, please hold while I eat some snacks and crackers. It's good stuff, by the way. I mean, low calorie, low carb, low nutrition value. Then, it's good stuff, though. So, by the way, so I explained that one in the previous episode, or 2 episodes ago. I explained it pretty well. But, there is a lot to it. A lot of mental emotions happening. And during the gameplay of this part, I think you're mostly just kind of following Lunafreya around with your camera. But then later on, Ravis Noxflurry shows up to the city. You have to cook meals in order to draw his Niflheim guys off because they think you're a waitress because you're in disguise as a waitress in that same crow's nest. The waiter guy told you to, make yourself look like you're part of the business. So she does. You have to actually learn how to cook meals. So this might be a cool idea for like if they have some leftover stuff from from Ignis, where they were planning on making you actually have to cook meals, like stir, put ingredients in and all that stuff and make something look cool. So in the meantime, you have to cook them up, what they want. While the clerk talks to them and tries to chat and, play all friendly. And same with Damien. He's doing the same thing, just, chatting away. Hey, Nifs, how's it going? Hey, I heard you guys blew up Insomnia the other day. Yeah, about time that old hunk of junk blew up. And in the meantime, Lunafreya's, she's making their meals ready. But you have to cook it good, right? That's part of the gameplay. If you don't cook it good, boom, that's it for you. They say, hey, what's up with this lady? Hey, who is she anyway? Hey, that's it, Lady Lunafreya. Hey, grab her. Hey. And it escalates even more than that. So you have to do your job and cook these guys a meal, and then you have to cook Ravis his meal when he comes in. The guy who's been living with Lunafreya for all her life? Yep, you gotta cook him a meal too. It's gotta be good or he'll, hang on a second, listeners, thing got unplugged again. Or he'll, hey, sister, how's it going? And, so yeah, all that's cool stuff. But anyway, so you do, and then, he continues on. And then the gameplay kind of continues where you're once again running from Nifs because, she runs out the back door with Damien. And, they hide for a while. You've got to hide from Niflheim engines and hide and all that. Use your, like, Noctis has that crouching maneuver in the campaign where he crouches next to scenery. And, you've got to hold X to stay in cover and all that cool stuff. And I'm pretty sure she has to do the same thing, hide and cover and all that. So then she returns to the crow's nest that night for a sleep after the Magitech engines take off. So that night, Nyx Ulrich appears to her. This is once again another cinematic type thing playing out. The one where she finally turns the bend and stops and decides she's not going to be so scared anymore, that she's just going to do her job. I guess Nyx kind of comes to show her worth. She's not really feeling that hot right now. I'm not talking about pretty either, because she is pretty. I'm talking about, like, she's not really feeling too up right now. She's feeling really down. But otherwise, so Nyx comes up and he helps her out. He tells her that her mom and King Regis are with her the whole way. So is he. And, everyone's rooting for her back home. Heaven home. And so she says, all right, I'll try to be strong then. I'll try to be strong and just do it, right? And she does. So she looks at that ring in her hand, and she's not really that scared of it anymore. As she's just kind of looking at it in the night, the dim of night, the moon is shining through the window or something like that. Added cinematic effect. All you directors out there, eat your heart out. She realizes that she's not scared of it anymore. She wants to do this, because even if it costs her and Noctis everything, it's worth it for both of them, right? It's worth it for everybody, the entire world. So she does. So she realized she's not gonna chicken out of this one. So Noctis, who cares what Noctis is doing? He's still hanging out with the bros on the road. And so Lady Lunafreya, she wakes up the next morning. You do more gameplay stuff by riding with Damien to the gate, which is near Niflheim, which is near Cleane. I'm pretty sure Duskai is the desert area, and Cleane is across the mountains in the forest, greeny area. But you know what? If it's not, forgive me. So, I got cheese on my fingers. That is gross. So, so Lady Lunafreya, you're doing more gameplay stuff. In the meantime, you hop in the car with Damien, and you're, I'm just talking to him for a while. Maybe you've got to engage in, like, creative dialogue as you're driving. But then the dialogue ends when his car breaks down not far from the gate. So she hops out because she wants to go for it, but she didn't really have any way to get through the gate anyway. So he follows her up the hill, and then they talk for a while, and he tells her his story, and, this is probably cinematic stuff happening here. In the meantime, they do a bit of hunting as they cross a dangerous mountain strait on foot. She doesn't want to hitchhike anymore either, by the way. It's getting too risky. It seems that spies are everywhere now, and there's actually a reason for that. It's because Ravis has become the new High Commander, unbeknownst to her, and Artifact Van Thiel was relieved of duty and probably dishonorably discharged, or not, maybe not. Well, I don't know, but he has been relieved of duty, and Ravis is in charge, and Ravis is looking for her now more than Noctis, so he's really scouring the areas where he thinks she would be. So in the meantime, you got to do a bit of hunting with Damien. Now, you don't have the trident of the Oracle yet, so a lot of it is hiding and stuff like that. But he's got a gun, and I guess he shows her how to use a gun a little bit, because he was an ex-hunter, and he really knew how to use those big, fat-barreled, cool guns they have, the hunters do. He really knew how to use those things. So, you have to learn to. He shows you how it's done. And then you do a bit of hunting together. Kind of getting that bonding thing going. Really getting to know the guy. When they get to the gate, he's got a couple buddies he knows at the gate. he's kind of like friends of friends and friends of friends, and, you know, everyone's, you know, he knows a lot of people. Damien's a real traveler. He knows everybody. And a lot of the Niflheim guys who are at the gate are actually just sky people recruited by the Niflheim Empire. And they're, you know, he's buddies with half of them. So they're all like, okay, well, you know, I mean, it's Damien. There's nothing to worry about. So he says, I got this girl coming with me. I'm guessing he says it's his sister or something like that. He says, you know, or his girlfriend, or I don't know, you know, technically she is a girl and she is his friend, so he's not lying about that. By the way, so he says he's got this girlfriend coming or whatever. He's saying, like, we just want to get through, right? Well, come on, be a buddy, let me through. Come on, stop searching people, just let me through. Come on, it's me. You know, and what could I possibly be taken through except for my pretty girlfriend? So they say, blah, blah. And they say, yeah, and let him through. So he gets through. Lunafreya gets through. She gets up. In the meantime, she gets she talks to Gentiana and her two dogs. Woof woof. The two dogs, Umbra and Prina. Yeah, the two kind of angel dogs. They're like spiritual dogs. These two. They can carry messages far and wide. So she sends a message to Noctis, telling him a few basic things. I forget what basic things exactly. But and then she talks to Gentiana. Gentiana gives her the trident of the Oracle. Here you go. And she says, hey, thanks a lot. Shucks, that's awful decent to be all. Maybe she doesn't say that quite in the southern accent, but, you know, she says something to that effect. Then, so she takes the trident, now she can summon people. So she goes, summons Ramuh. Now, you have to find Ramuh first, right? So she finds Ramuh, that's part of gameplay. Cool part of the gameplay. Maybe a cool detective type thing where you've got to ask around, see what people know what. She ends up finding Ramuh and has a little chitty chat with him. Why does this thing keep coming unplugged? This thing's driving me crazy. It keeps unplugging itself. Every time I even touch the sophisticated iPad device, it comes loose. Who cares? Okay. Anyways, I don't even know if it's turning off or anything, but it keeps coming loose. That was it's a little tidbit of information which I'm sure you're all enjoying very much. And I just want to say, here at Universe Immersion, that's the only place you're going to get that type of information. Okay, so so she does some cool detective work. You find Ramuh. In the meantime, the spy was watching you, so Ravis chases you and Damien to Lestalem. You sleep the night there, but then Ravis catches you. In the meantime, he takes you back to his fortress airship, where there's this big dialogue with him. I skipped over a lot of details there, but more or less how it goes. I explained it pretty well in the first video, or second video, I think it was. So Damien then shows up inside the fortress airship and throws her trident, which they'd taken away. She then gets into a bit of a wrestling match with Ravis, where you have to just hold on to the trident and tell Titan, who you're flying above in the giant fortress airship, to come forth and whoop these losers. He does. He blows up the ship. Meantime, she and Damien bail out of the ship, but Titan grabs Damien. Oh, he's got him in his big palm. And that asteroid man, that giant asteroid dude, he forgot to wear his clothes. He's holding on to Damien. It's like, so she tries to talk to the astral. He's like, keep your big mouth shut, little, loser. I'm the big, mighty Titan who's been holding up your stupid meteor for the last, 2,000 years or whatever. I don't need to help with anything. I've been doing my part. Go jump in a lake. So she tells him, no, you have to help Noctis. You have to. That's 100% essential. In the meantime, Ravis is there. Titan keeps trying to beat up her and Damien. Ravis saves her bacon like 3 or 4 times against Titan because he's got a Magitech arm, and he's got a lot of Magitech technology inside him, so he's pretty good. But eventually she has a final plea with Titan where she says, Titan, listen, okay? Enough of this. You have no right to refuse. You know, you're an astral of Eos. You have no right to refuse the king his what he needs. If he's going to liberate our star, he's going to need you, and you have, you know, Niflheim will kill you if you don't, for one, and two, you have no right to refuse this. You're nothing. You're just a little speck in a giant game. I'm a little speck too. Noctis might even be a little speck too. But we are all parts in this game, and you have to help. So Titan says, but eventually, he says, meh, meh. Not in so many words. And he agrees to help her. In the meantime, there's been a lot of gameplay stuff happening along the way. Like one time you were running away from Titan, having to ward him off with your trident. Another time you had to heal Damien, probably using some sort of power of hers, which might be another cool part of the gameplay. Like maybe you have like the powers of your trident. Well, she can't summon stuff. Or she can. She can, sort of? Yeah, she can. Wait a minute. Yeah, she can. Okay, well, maybe you have to summon Ramu or something at some point? Maybe... Oh, you do summon Ramu at some point. You do summon Ramu at some point. Yeah, you got, like, this part where using Damien's is driving down the roads and a whole bunch of Magitech engines chasing y'all. And, you know, you got all suffer, you know, you gotta summon the Ramu to come and help y'all out. Because, you know, he's got, like, these big lightning powers, and he's kind of these big giant, and he kind of throws these big bolts of lightning all over the place. So, yeah, that's kind of how she all goes. That's all she wrote, folks. And, that was, Timothy, my co-host of the show. Timothy McFarland, the Irish Texan boy. He's smart though. Don't let that damn dear accent fool y'all. He's oh man, the guy's got an IQ of like 5 decimillion or something. Okay, so then so we're 47 minutes in. Let's finish this juice up. Alright, so Titan eventually agrees, of course, as mentioned earlier, and he says, all right, I'll do it. You win. But he'd better, I'm going to give him some severe trials, you better believe it. And she doesn't like that, but, you know, I mean, that's the way the ball bounces. Not much she can do about it, right? So she says, all right. In the meantime, Ravis gives her back the ring, which he stole from her. Unbelievably, he gives her back the ring because he says, when he thinks that, like, okay, you've proven your stupid point. The Astrals do listen to you to an extent. I don't give a darn. I'm going to kill the Astrals anyway. But if your stupid boy, your stupid prince, wants to show up and try to accept the Astrals and overthrow the Niflheim Empire, the might of the Niflheim Empire, I'll give him the ring. I'll give him a fair shake. If you think this is worth it, okay. Meantime, he's had to save her bacon just because she's a sister a bunch of times, and he's kind of he wants her to succeed because she's his sister, but he wants her to fail because she's his enemy, and, you know, I mean, it's all over the place. Plus, he doesn't really like Niflheim anyway. They're a bunch of idiots. He likes her, but she's kind of a little silly, too. At least according to him. He loves his sister. You see that in episode Ignis. Ravis loves his sister. He's just really messed up, this kid. Really, really messed up. You know, his parents got killed a long time ago, and, you know, he never got raised by a bunch of monkeys, probably. And, yeah, I mean, it's been a rough existence for both Ravis and Lunafreya. But either way, brother and sister, tough times. So he gives her the ring, Lucia, and says, all right, give this to your boy if you want. So he takes off. So she and Damien get out of there after a nice brief talk where, Damien Damien wishes her well, and she tells him, well, I can't have you follow me to Alticia. You know, that's not your calling. Your call, you've fulfilled your calling, so have a nice life. So he does. I'm guessing. Damien does have a nice life, and that's it. So and so then Lunafreya takes off, and she has to go to Alticia to summon Hydrian, where she Leviathan, yeah, the Goddess of the Seas, Goddess of the Sea, Goddess of the Seas. It's much better. So she summons the Leviathan, and unfortunately the Leviathan kills her. Well, Arden kills her. Bang, 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 bang. That guy. That was another quote, direct quote. And and unfortunately that's so that's how she gets to that point, right? In the game you see Lunafreya so rarely that you wonder what the flip was going on with her. Well, that's how she gets to that point. I don't care what anybody says. That's how she gets to that point. You don't give me any of your lip and come to me and say, oh, that's how she... That's how she got there. Okay. Glad we got that confusion cleared up. Well, listeners, it is late in the day, and I have places to be, kingdoms to conquer, lands to overcome. I will see you all later. I hope that you all have one of those days. In the meantime, I'll probably be back sooner or later with another episode, probably on some of the new concepts I've been working on lately. You know, like all our eternities I was talking to you all about earlier, as well as Warlord, the Warlord Chronicles, which I'm planning on telling you pretty much everything about. Very, very long series. It took me 10 years to make the whole darn thing. Very, very complex and very, very in-depth. There's like no less than 20 different individual stories. Full-length stories. I'm not talking about those silly little, you know, like, No, I'm talking about like the big full-length stories. You know, the ones that are as long as like a full-length feature movie. Some of them even were kind of put in movie and video game format and all that stuff. So, in the meantime, I'll give you a quick advertisement from Grace Coconut Water, who sponsored my show. Get ready. Prepare your ears. One more time. Feast your ears.